everybody, and welcome back to a brand new Sims 4 video. And as you'll probably tell by today's title, we are doing an apartment renovation. Very excited. This is a 9B Jasmine Suite. Is that what it's called? I was going to say Jasmine Studios for some reason, but I think it's Jasmine Suite. I don't know. It definitely says it in the title, which is probably why you've clicked on it. I haven't done an apartment renovation in a hot second, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it. Because I really like doing the cheaper apartments, actually, and renovating them. Probably because I really like furnishing and decorating in The Sims 4, but I'm not a big builder. We all know this, I can't really build. Hence why I have a whole series dedicated to me trying to learn how to build. But, yeah, anyway. I tried to, because this place is quite colourful, right? So I tried to keep the theme going and do as much colour as I possibly could throughout the apartment. It is a 2-bed, 1-bath. Although it does have quite a lot of, like, room in there. I feel like it's quite a nice spaced apartment, if that makes sense. So it has a kid's bedroom and, like, a master bedroom. So it could probably sleep about 4 people, which is pretty good going. It even has a little, like, study officey bit, and yeah, I mean, I just think it's quite a good little house all in general. I should quickly say, because, just in case, if you want to go download it, you absolutely can. I always leave my EA ID down in the description. This property is base game and city living only, so if you are minimalistic in the packs that you own, this might be a property for you because it just has simply those 2 packs. I just decided, you know what, I'm going to make it a little bit easier and just do those, because sometimes I find it a little bit easier to do it, right? Like, it's kind of easier to pick items when you are restricted in what you can pick. Whereas sometimes when I'm playing with all the packs, I almost get a bit, like, spoiled for choice, I guess. And then I'm like, what should I pick? What theme do I go for? What colours do I go for? So, anyway, that's beside the point. Although it did kind of make me realise, actually, that city living is a real mixture of, like, furniture that I really like and then furniture that I actually don't particularly like. Like, it's such a mix in terms of decor for me, personally. I don't know why. I always get a bit of deja vu with City Living, actually, because it kind of feels like City Living was released only such a short time ago, but it literally was the 3rd pack, I think, expansion pack in The Sims 4. So it was very early on into the game, but for some reason it kind of feels like it's only been out for a couple of years, and I don't know why in my head, but especially because I remember being quite young when it came out, and I remember playing it and having so much fun and being like, I can't believe we have a city world so early on. And yeah, I kind of wish they would redo it now. Somebody did say, instead of the EA like releasing new packs, what they would love for them to do is to basically go through all the old expansion packs and like add in items that should have probably been added into the packs. And I actually think that is such a good idea. But I think some of the problems you'd have is like, some of the items from Sony Escape should have probably been in seasons, so then what do you do then? But you know what I mean. I do generally think there are sometimes, like, it's hard to think of an example, but I was playing with a pack recently, and I was like, I can't believe they didn't add that into the game. What pack was I playing with? I can't even remember now. Oh, I think I was on about, like, skating. I know we have, like, your ice rinks and your roller skating rinks if you've got seasons, but I was like, why don't they have a specific skill for it? Because I think it contributes towards fitness, but it's not its own, like, skill. Whereas, obviously, you have skiing and snowboarding, and they're their own separate skills. So I don't really get it. I don't get why it couldn't have been a separate skill. And, like, I genuinely wish that they had made in seasons a figure skating career. Wouldn't that have been such a cool career? Anyway, I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why I've been thinking about this a lot more recently. I was watching Satchon Sims' video where he did a basically kind of like wish list of what he wanted to see in Sims 4, which I was going to do that as a video idea actually for a commentary video, but I'm going to be honest, guys, I struggle to think of pack concepts that I'd actually enjoy, because for me, when I think about packs, I think about like, what would I actually want to spend £35 on? And maybe I think about it too practically like that, but I think people forget sometimes that like The Sims is like quite a lot of money. Like, I'm sure that's not new information for anybody, but yeah, it does make me sometimes think about like, what would I actually spend money in, because I feel like, I don't know. Anyway, point is, I don't know what the point was. The point was, there's not many packs I can think of that I would actually pay £35 for. I mean, the only one that I potentially would is like a music one, but that's only if they did it really well. And that was actually one of Satch's ideas. And to be fair, I've also kind of hinted at it in the past when I've spoken about it, that like, I feel like a music one would be cool, but I'd always said like I would want them to do like a kind of world tour sort of thing, like make it into, because obviously we can go from world to world really easily in The Sims 4, so I actually feel like it would be quite cool if you could be a band and like do your own concerts and like have a like world tour. Like I said, I just think it would be such a good idea to do, given how easy it is to go from world to world, if you know what I mean. But anyway, sorry guys, I've gone into a tangent. Actually, I sometimes use these build voiceovers to talk about new news in The Sims 4, and I was going to dedicate a whole video to this, but because I'm going away, I just simply do not have enough time to like pre-record it and film it in a good enough time and whatever. But apparently the fairies pack, which everybody, myself included, has been broadcasting, might not be a fairies pack. So basically there's this whole like new website which is talking about the new pack, and it's obviously a nature's pack, which, to be fair, if you did watch my fairies video, I did say it kind of feels like a bit of the crossover of cottage living, realm of magic, and what's the other one, outdoor retreat. I actually said that in my video, and I found it really funny because Satch and Sim said the exact same thing, so clearly I'm not alone in my opinion on that one. And I just thought, like, that is kind of crazy that, you know, that we're all recognising it. I kind of feel like at this point I want something a little bit different, because I feel like I made the same points. I don't want to, like, re-go into it too much, but I made the same points of, like, I don't think the pack really offers much. It kind of rehashes old ideas and concepts. Like, this whole idea of, like, living off the grid sort of thing, like, has been done now almost too much. And I guess maybe they're doing it because cottage living was such a success. Like, out of all of the more recent expansion packs, like, cottage living is still considered to be one of the best expansion packs that we have. And then maybe like life and death, I guess. But either way, like, cottage living is probably, it's pretty renowned for most Simmers, so I guess maybe they've done that to try and incentivize and get people to buy The Sims 4 again. I don't know, but I think a lot of Simmers, myself included at this point, are a bit like, if you actually fix the game, babes, I'll consider buying the pack. Until that day, I will restrain myself from buying it, because I'm not being funny. The Sims 4, I mean, at this point, I will have no, I think that's this week's video, but there's so many bugs that it is getting harder and harder to play The Sims 4 and actually enjoy it. Anyway, not the point. I also use these build voiceovers to give you a little update on what's going on in my life currently. I can't really say a lot. My life is very busy. It's very chaotic. I literally had a driving lesson this morning, and I was saying that to my driving instructor. I was just like, my life feels a bit stressful at the minute. Like, I do genuinely feel very stressed out. But anyway, it's all good. I can't really talk about anything for now because I just don't want to. One, I'm always a bit careful because I like don't want to jinx things. But equally, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a really good time. I hope it's going a little bit less chaotic for you than it is for me right now. But as I keep saying in my videos, I am pre-recording currently. I cannot wait to go away for a little while. I do want to quickly say, because I probably haven't pre-recorded as much this week as I would have liked, so if there is a bit of a gap in video content over the next, basically throughout the month of June and then maybe a little bit into July, I do apologise, but I just don't know what that sort of period of my life right now is going to look like, because I think it's going to look intensely busy, and I just don't know whether I'm even going to get a break to do anything. I mean, I might do, yeah, and I might be fine, but I'm just not 100% sure. Anyway, I feel like I've actually rambled very easily today. Sometimes in like build voiceovers, I actually struggle to ramble. Like the last one that I did, it kind of took me a couple of minutes to get going, you know? Whereas today I am rambling away, and I don't really know why, but anyway. When I tell you today, as I'm filming this, it's been a busy day. It's been such a busy day. You know when you just feel exhausted and like the day's not done yet and you're like, what? But yeah, it's a little chaotic, a little busy right now. But that's kind of fun in one way. It makes the days go a little bit quicker. Anyway, I'm trying to think if there's anything else to talk about build-wise or new pack. Not sure. One thing though, obviously we're all talking about fairies to do with the new pack, and yet their promos for it is a lot of gnomes. There was like one slide that did make me think that fairies are going to be a thing, but one of the things that I did say in my fairies video, is that I fear that they will make them a bit like mermaids, where there's not really a purpose to them. Kind of hoping they'll make it a bit more like ghosts, where they actually do have a purpose and it's a bit better, but who knows? Actually, who knows if it's even included? I really hope it is included at this point, because I actually don't really see the point in doing another nature pack unless you are going to include fairies, to be honest. Yeah. This is the thing, like, I don't hate the idea of like a new nature pack, but I just feel like there's only so much you can milk. Do you know what I mean? Like, talking about the apothecary skill, I always say that word a bit weirdly. Anyway, I do feel like it is a skill that we've already got. Like, if you've got Realm of Magic, you kind of have potion making. Outdoor Retreat, you can do the herbalism thing. I just don't really get the point, but I think that's probably just me. I don't know. But you know what? We're still going to get the reviews, and the reviews are going to be like, yay, it's amazing, it's the best pack in the world. Because that's the nature of The Sims. Anyway, that is why, to be honest, I only watch a couple of reviewers nowadays. I don't really trust many people that review content. Just because I'm such a skeptic when it comes to like social media, just because you know that half the time these people are being promoted to, you know, promote the game in some way, and even if they're not being promoted in that video, they're still gonna have a bias because they're not gonna want to lose out on that sponsorship. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's common sense, but you never know. Yeah, so this is my little reminder to you all to remember to not believe everything that you see online and to form your own judgments. Okay. I say this because it sounds like common sense, but do you know what? It's so easy to get like sucked into believing what people say. I know this because I was part of that problem, I guess, and getting sucked in and buying stuff for the sake of it when I didn't really need it, because I thought that was the in thing to do, or I just thought that was the thing to do, but it doesn't have to be. And it shouldn't be. You can be your own people. But like I said, with social media, it's so blooming hard to do that, and you know, I'm probably a bit of a hypocrite myself, because like I said, I used to be really bad at it. So anyway, I always end up with a little rant, don't I, about social media. I think it's because I've become so much more aware as I've gotten older about the effects of it, and yeah, it's kind of nuts. Anyway, if you guys have enjoyed today's video, then please be sure to go leave a like, go and subscribe if you haven't already, and go leave a comment. Did you guys like the way that this apartment turned out? As always, like I said, I leave my EA ID in the description if you want to go and follow and download it. Apartments have to be downloaded by a room, by the way. I don't know why we still in the year 2025 don't have that as an update, but we don't. You would have thought by now that EA would have fixed that. Anyway, I'm going to see you all in the next video. Bye, everyone.